Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So this show is another pretty special one. So I'm in Detroit right now actually. and I came here because when this band comes to DC, I won't be in the area. But I really wanted to see this band in particular because it's a 10-year anniversary tour for an album of theirs. And while I do listen to some of their other stuff, this album really I know it pretty much from start to finish, and there are just some songs that, I kind of could tell that this band was never going to play unless they were doing an anniversary tour. Well, so they're doing one, and I need to see them, so I needed to see those songs, and that's why I'm here. Anyway, so the bands were Catholic Action was the opener, and then We Were Promised Jetpacks was the band that I really wanted to see. So let's get into it. So getting there was actually pretty easy. There was a little bit of traffic, but I purposely went early because there was a brewery attached to the venue that I went to, and The Loving Touch is the venue I went to, and so there's a brewery like right next door, so I went there for dinner and it was awesome and I was excited and it was a really cool thing. Parking was pretty easy. There were a lot of people there, but I went at a good time because the parking lot was full when I went back to my car before the show, so I was glad that I parked and got that all out of the way. But I can imagine parking being kind of a pain at that time because lots of people seem to be there, so yeah, but it was fine for me. Anyway, let's get into it. So, Catholic Action was okay. Their first song had a really, really catchy chorus, so that was pretty cool. Their second song, I didn't love the instrumental part of the chorus, but overall it was a pretty good song. I liked the bridge a lot. Their third song was fine. It was good. And then after their third song, the lead singer asked the lights guy to dim the lights. He was like, "These are too bright. I'm self-conscious." And I think he was trying to be funny. But then the light guy shouted something to him. And I want to say he was like, "Well, this is what was preset." And the singer was like, "Well, I had a conversation with you about this before, or earlier, but let's just do it." And for a second, I was like, "Whoa, that was so harsh." But then I feel like that was something I would have said. "Look, I did my due diligence and I talked to you about this. So the fact that you are now not listening to what I said is frustrating." So it's I understand where he was coming from, but I don't know, just in the moment, I was just really oof, gosh, that was really crazy. Whatever, it was fine. The next song, the lights totally changed anyway. So I'm not really sure what happened with the lights, but it was just an interesting moment, and again, for a second I was really taken aback and I was like, oh my gosh, that was really crazy. But anyway, the fourth song was good. Again, nothing super grabbing. But then the fifth and sixth song, I loved. That was definitely the highlight of the show for me. Really, really, really loved the instrumental part of the sixth song. Just so good. And then the seventh song was also a really good follow-up too. Again, not as great as that fifth and sixth song, but that fifth song, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. There's not going to be a better one. And then the sixth song started and I was like, oh my God, this is even better than the fifth song. So that was really exciting. I was really glad about that. I really liked that both of those songs right back to back, totally pulled me in. And then the seventh song was a really good follow-up. After that, another member of the band started singing the song, but his mic was really low. And by the second verse, though, the mic was better and you could hear what he was saying, so that ended up being good. And then they had a really nice upbeat song for the end, so I thought that was really good. Definitely an interesting band. Definitely gonna have to check out that fifth and sixth song for sure, because I really liked it. Especially that sixth song, man. That was definitely the song for me. So We Were Promised Jetpacks. So I've been to a couple anniversary shows before, and there's always two ways that it can go. One, the band just plays the whole album from start to finish, no changing the order, nothing like that. Or the band plays whatever songs they want in whatever order from that album. I honestly can't tell you which one I prefer. I think it would be an album by album basis. And it obviously depends on the songs that I love on the album that are played first versus the ones that are played last. But We Were Promised Jetpacks decided to play it from start to finish. Nothing. The lead singer even made a comment. He was like, "This is easy. We've been doing this. And this is just a breeze." So no changing the order or anything like that. And that will come in later, which I'll talk about. But So let's get started. So It's Thunder and It's Lightning is the first song, and it's just so good. And I swear the beginning part was like way slower than it is in the recording, but it was fantastic because it really has that like build, and then by the end of the song you're just like jumping, and it's awesome, and it was just so good. I really, really love that. Then they played Ship with Holes Will Sink, and just like such a good song. It's just so fun, and they make it so fun, and the crowd made it fun, and it was just so good. And I know I'm like totally nerding out right now because I got to see all these songs, but really just so fun. Like I can't even like explain just everyone knowing the words to every song. It just made it so fun. And then Roll Up Your Sleeve was next, and the drums got really slow, like real slow, but it was so good because then it like the bridge was good. That song was really good. And Roll Up Your Sleeve was not one of my favorites. I mean, I do like that song, but it's definitely not like even top 5 just because this album is so good and there are 5 other songs that I like more. But it was so good to see live, and I was really, really excited because, you know, I didn't really think about that song in terms of being a great song to see live, and they made it so great. Then Conductor was so good. Like I loved, it was just so good. The only thing is the crowd was a little bit loud, which isn't their fault, but yeah, like the people like to my right were like actually really loud at one point, and I was like, guys, come on, it's Conductor. And I don't know if this is the instrument, but the like metal sounding xylophone part was just like to see it live and hear like every note was just really good. I really liked that. And yeah, it was like a slower song, but it's really like it starts really slow and then it is kind of slow, but especially like after, you know, those 3 songs that they started with, I get where it's like hard. But yeah, I mean, it was still a good song, and it was a song that I really wanted to see and knew that they probably wouldn't be playing a lot of. But I was super excited. Like that was one of the songs I went to go see, so I was really excited about that. And then after that, they played A Half-Built House, which is basically just like instruments with like numbers in the background, like 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. So that was interesting. I'm glad that they played it. I personally didn't need it to be played, but I was super glad that they played it because they said they were going to play every song, and they played every song. So I like that they stuck with the theme of playing every song. So some bands don't do that. Sometimes they take out those weird songs. Like Our Lady Peace took out Hello Oscar and Shaking. Wanted to see both of those songs. It's cool. Don't worry, OLP. Don't worry. Anyway, sorry. So then they play my favorite song of theirs off this album, and it's so hard to say my favorite song, but I really do love it. It's like definitely one of my top like 2, 3. I mean, oh my god, it's so good. And I don't know why it's so weird that I love this song, but this is like one of the songs I listen to in the morning, like when I'm getting ready for work. So it's This Is My House, This Is My Home, and the way the subtle changes, like holding words and then like hesitating before singing words, just made that song so good. And I was just so excited because, again, I knew that this is not a song that gets played very often because it's really not probably a popular song on this album at all, but I love it, so I was really excited. And then Quiet Little Voices, and it just like is mind-blowing how good that song is live. This Quiet Little Voices is like Cute Without the E by Taking Back Sunday. Like you could just play that song forever on loop on live and I would just be rocking out the entire time. Like just such a fun song to listen to, such a fun song to jump around to. And like at one point the lead singer got on this like towards the front of the stage and was just jumping up and down, like encouraging the crowd to, and then the whole crowd starts jumping up and down. So it was just super amazing, such a great, like, wonderful song. And I'd seen that song live before because when I saw them the first time, they did play that song. But just like in the whole order of the CD, to hear that song was just really fantastic. So really, really great. And especially because after that, Moving Clocks Run Slow was a follow-up song, and it's just like the energy was matched, and it was just amazing, and it's so good. And like overall, the lyrics on this album are fairly simple for the most part in most songs. Like, they have a lot of repetition, and, you know, repetition can go one way or the other for me. I either love it or sometimes it's too much and it's like, really, you can think of a different lyric, but they just do it so well, and just parts of words that are repeated versus like full lines that are repeated. It's just so good. So Moving Clocks, Run Slow was a really, really great follow-up. And again, they didn't really have a choice. It just happened that when they made the CD, they made a good choice in that regard. And then Keeping Warm. Oh, sorry. Short Bursts was that next. And it was really great. Like, when they sang the title of the song, which comes, like, I want to say it's the bridge of the song, it was like awesome. Everyone like shouted Short Bursts. Like, it was just so good. And then even like the lyrics, the way he sang the lyrics leading up to the instrumental part at the end was like really cool, because it's like they stopped the music and then he kind of just like sang quietly and then built it up. So I really liked that too. That was really cool. Really cool. And then Keeping Warm. And Keeping Warm is like a really long song, because it's like a 7-minute song of pretty much a lot of instrumental build up and then some lyrics and then a lot of instruments. And it was great. It was awesome. It was like they were, you know, really playing their instruments, and you could definitely tell they were into it. And then In Almighty Thud is the last song on the album. Now, this song is a slow song, so it's hard, right? I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it, but it is a slower song, and you have this like high energy from all these other songs, and then you like drop down, and it's like, yeah, like, what do? Do you go out of order just so that that song isn't the last song on the album because it's so slow? I mean, again, I think they made a good choice. I'm glad they didn't change the order. Just because I knew they were going to be playing songs afterwards. So realistically, if they're going to change the order, I would want my songs to be the last songs. So the fact that they didn't change the order, I was totally okay with that this time. But again, it's like then you end on this like slower song note, so it's hard to kind of gauge, like, is this going to be a good song to end on for the album? But that's what happens often, right? Is bands usually put slower songs either in the middle or at the end. So now you have this like lull in the middle or this lull at the end. So I don't know. It just, that's what they did. And again, it was a good song. It just definitely changed the whole tone of the venue. And then after that, he did say like, okay, now we're going to play some songs that we like to play. And the first song that they played was a fantastic follow-up. It was like the perfect bridge between the slow song that they just played and the next song that they were going to play, which I had a feeling they were going to play in a more upbeat song after this, but it was like the perfect transition song, and it was a good song and I really enjoyed it. And then after that, they played a high energy song that I really did recognize, and I really liked that song, so that was cool. And then after that, it was another really high energy song. So again, they really had like a very nice flow, right? They kind of like got stuck with this slow song, but then they really did a great job of having a medium song, not too fast, not too slow, and then two really like high energy, really good songs. And then after that, they had a song that was mostly instruments, and I like was totally digging it. I'm pretty sure I've heard it before, but it was like a long, just lots of instruments and like very minimal lyrics and singing, and then more instruments to end. And it was just like so great. I really enjoyed that moment. I was just like kind of in it and listening to the music and kind of just enjoying it. So I really, really liked that. And then, the guitar and the bass in that song was really good. And then after that, the next song was just like, It was like really almost like heavy. Like it was like, I mean, heavy's like maybe a strong word, but it was like the like most intense. And I wasn't really a huge fan. Again, it was fine. It's good. It just like, kind of wasn't, especially after this like great instrumental song. And then it's like lots of lyrics and just like lots of sound. So yeah, I didn't really love that one. But then after that, they were like, okay, well, this is our last song. So like, you know, we're going to like thank the band. And like, just like, I want to thank people. And there's merch guy. And at our merch table, this is like the part that I was like, oh, I was so glad they said something. So they said, we have a donation box for tiny changes. And people, including myself, like went crazy cheering, and I like whistled, and I was so excited. He goes, oh, so we have some Frightened Rabbit fans here. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, the CD came out today, and I just so wanted them to validate it so bad. And I'm so glad they did. I know I'm like obsessed with Frightened Rabbit, and I need to maybe chill. But I was just so glad that a band from that area of the world that Frightened Rabbit is from, they were like acknowledging the fact that people here might know them and might understand what they're talking about. And just, I loved it. And I was really glad that I got to experience that, especially today when that CD came out, Tiny Changes came out. So I was really glad and excited that they did that. Wish they would have played a Frightened Rabbit cover, because their next song, again, it was fine. It was just really long, and it was like 11:30, and I was like, come on, like, it's great, and the instruments are good, and the singing is good, but I'm tired. I don't really know this song. So yeah, so that was kind of, I was ready for it to be done. But yeah, so let's talk about the score. Catholic Action, they were pretty good. Again, it's hard when you have an opener who you don't really necessarily know, and you know the next band coming up is going to play all of the songs that you love from them. So definitely in the beginning, I think I was like a little bit too excited, and I was like, okay, you can go now, bye. But I think they did a really nice job. There were definitely, that third song I really wasn't a huge, the second song I wasn't really a huge fan of. So that was definitely a low. But I really did like the fifth and sixth song. That sixth song in particular really stuck out to me. So they had an overall good set. I mean, We Were Promised Jetpacks, from start to finish, that album was just fantastic. Like, just so good. So fun. The whole crowd was super into it. I honestly wish they would have just stopped playing after that. I was fine. I mean, I did like some of the songs afterwards, but definitely the last two songs were a serious low for me. So that was like a little bit disappointing that the last two songs they played, I wasn't personally a huge fan of. And again, that last song in particular, I think I was just like over it and tired and done, especially because it was such a long song. But it was a good song. And just like, you could have ended it at Almighty Thud, like I would have been fine. But yeah, I don't know. So that makes it hard because I really loved the album part of it, which is why I went, oh, this is hard. I think I'm gonna give this one, it's so hard. I'm gonna give this one an 8.75. I wanted to give it a 9, but there was just a little bit too much that just wasn't super excellent. So yeah, 8.75. Again, there were a couple lulls in the opener, and then there were definitely, like, especially just towards the end, those last two songs just, and like, I get why they played the second to last song when they did, right? Like, it's super intense and you're trying to get that crowd back in for that last song, but it just, I don't know, especially like maybe you need to change the song before it, because the song before it was like totally different vibe. I mean, again, it was still like an upbeat song though. I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick with an 8.75. So let me know what you think. Were you there? Have you seen them in a different city? Have you never seen them before but want to, or didn't, not even know who they are? Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.